It is the official Odd Couple preseason predictions. Now, again, these picks were in before these games started tonight. The problem is because of the Daniel Snyder news, we had to push it off an hour. But these picks are locked in. They are already in the memory bank, not going anywhere. Right now, though, we're going to get it started by getting your Eastern Conference. I don't need your whole playoff picks. I just need Eastern Conference championship final round predictions. Who's going to be in there? Who do you think comes out of the East? We'll start with Chris.
Well, Rob, I think probably to nobody's surprise, I am picking Milwaukee to get to the conference finals. But guess against who? My theme this year, redemption. Redemption for Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and Kyrie Irving. So I got the Nets making the conference finals against Milwaukee. And that might sound bizarre to people, but look, every team's got questions in the East, as good as they are. Boston's got to deal with the unsavory departure of Ime Udoka, its head coach, who did a great job with them last year. Philadelphia, James Harden, what's he going to be in the playoffs? Is he not washed, but is he not quite the player he used to be? Cleveland's obviously young. And so, Rob, I got the Nets and Milwaukee. You want my pick of
No, that's it.
Who, Rob G? Who wins?
Just the East. Yeah.
No, I know. Who wins this series?
Sure.
All right. I got the Nets. I think the Nets match up really well with Milwaukee. And I think if they're fully healthy, that they'll beat the Bucks. You remember a couple years ago, Rob, when they weren't healthy and they still took them to 7.
Yep.
Kyrie got it. First, Harden was injured. Then Kyrie got injured. Then Harden came back playing on half a leg, and they still almost beat him in 7. I think with Simmons, who can guard Giannis probably as well as can be, you can guard him. I think I like the Nets. So I got the Nets reaching the finals, believe it or not.
Rob Parker, your picks in the Eastern Conference.
All right. I got the Nets over the Celtics. And I'm with Chris on this. It is about redemption. You got 3 guys there who all are playing for something. All 3 of them have something to play for. Kevin Durant for his good name, to get people to feel better about him after all the nonsense, and he wanted to trade and all that. Kyrie's playing for a contract. And for him to reinstate his name as a great point guard in the league and somebody you want, and he's got to be on his best behavior and no nonsense, because this could cost him, Chris, if there's a flare-up.
Absolutely.
And Ben Simmons is too young to not think that he can't bounce back and play great. He's young. He's got a whole career ahead of him. So I think those 3 guys right there, I like a lot. And I know it's easy to maybe push the Celtics off because of, not having a coach. But that team has talent too. So I'm unless the coach messes it up, the NBA is about players not as much as it is about coaches. Even though coaches matter, I still like the Celtics. I like what they did a year ago. Chris, they'll be a year older with some experience under their belt. But I think the Nets are just better than them, the whole roster, if they're healthy. So I'm going to go with the Nets over the Celtics.
Yeah, the Nets are clearly the most talented team on paper in the East.
Even
now,
some
I'm
of
a
the
bit
pickups,
concerned.
Chris, even some of the pickups this offseason.
Oh, no. Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris is back. They got a squad. I'm worried a little bit about what's between the ears. I'm not going to lie.
No,
and Steve Nash is clearly not the greatest coach. Hopefully he's learned something. But I like you said, those 3, they have to restore their good names. Let's just keep it real, right? They all do, and I think if they got pride like that, they'll come out there and put their best foot forward.
All right. I think you guys can agree, though. I don't think there's any team in the league that has a higher range of outcomes than the Brooklyn Nets.
Agree. It can implode.
It can implode in November, or they can win the championship. I don't think we would be shocked either way. Rob, you'll get us started here. Tell us who you got playing in the conference finals and who you got coming out of the West.
All right, I'm going off the grid. I know everybody's, of course, going to pick the Golden State Warriors. They won the championship last year. Think everything will be good. I think they get derailed by Draymond Green's podcast. They get derailed. I'm going with the Grizzlies. I know, yes, the Grizzlies after their run last year. I'm picking the Grizzlies. And the Los Angeles, sorry, Rob G, Clippers. The Clip joints. Chris, I just talked about the Nets roster. Have you seen the Clippers roster? Again, they got to stay healthy, but I love that roster. I love that John Wall. This is his redemption year. He hasn't played in a year and a half, Chris. Another guy who adds something. If he embraces that spot coming off the bench and is good with it, and we saw the Clippers 2 years ago. Ty Lue is a tremendous coach. Got them to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi. And I just like what they have. So I'm going to pick the Clippers over the Grizzlies in the Western Conference.
Clippers are certainly tough, but I am going with them to get to the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, they have to stay healthy. But they got a squad on paper. There is no doubt about it. And I like you, am looking for John Wall to really have a nice bounce back year. Rob, he's in a contract year too.
He's playing for something,
he's
Chris.
Young, still relatively young, and, has had his career derailed by injuries. So he could have several years left in the league if he plays well this year and can get another contract. So I like the Clippers getting there. Against Golden State. You talk about a roster. My gosh. I mean, the defending champs already. Andrew Wiggins just going to be better. And than he was last year. And he was very good last year, especially in the playoffs. That confidence, he's settled in as that third or fourth guy, whatever you want to call him. Jordan Poole, I think he'll be fine. I think him and Draymond will be fine. Draymond kind of playing for what is his future going to look like in the league or with the Warriors? Team? Maybe, but he needs the ball either way. And then the young boys. Wiseman can ball. Long, athletic, runs the floor. Moses Moody. And then Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga might be a future star. Like they got a squad. They got a roster. I think Clay's going to be better. Coming back now, he's back off injury had a full off season to rehab. I think he'll be better. So I do like the Warriors against the Clippers, and I'm going with the Warriors. And so I got the Warriors meeting the Nets in a finals, in a made for Hollywood finals.
Yes,
Kevin Durant against the Warriors. Oh my gosh.
That would be something.
That would be nice. Yes.
We'll get your championship picks here in a second, but before we do that, get the MVPs out. And Rob, it's funny you brought up the Draymond podcast. He's got a docuseries coming out about his preseason, including the punch heard around the world.
Really?
Draymond creating content for everybody.
Yeah, but
right, he did that to create content.
That should be in there.
Let me get, before we get your finals prediction, I know who you guys are in it, but I want to know who wins it first.
I don't know if I like that.
Let's get
I don't like it. That's what I just said, Chris. I don't like it either.
The new media, baby. Yeah. Let's get your MVP picks before your championship picks. Start with you, Chris.
I think he's like sixth, maybe, or in the odds, maybe fifth. Ja Morant.
Wow.
Rob, I do think Memphis might have the best record in the West.
They could, Chris. They could.
Yep. And obviously he's the star. He has to stay healthy. But if they do have the best record, even maybe second best, Rob, he's going to obviously be their leading scorer, leading assist guy, spectacular. I think Ja has a great chance, so I'm picking Ja.
I'm going with the old dog, Kevin Durant, Chris, who's just has to be on a mission to play his best basketball, stay healthy. He was having an MVP-type season through the first 30 games or whatever. I can't remember when he got hurt. What was that, in December? Maybe first 25 games or whatever.
And he pretty much always does.
Right.
Like he's just perennial.
He's always perennial. And I just think with everything that went on, how do you take the egg off your face, Chris, and get your name out of people's mouths? Is by putting together an MVP season. And I think if he does that and leads the Nets to the championship, whether they win or lose, but leads them there, I think that talk about Kevin Durant will go the other way.
Let me ask you this. Any concern? You know how it works a lot of times. I mean, he's got certainly one other star with Kyrie who's going to put up big numbers. And then Ben Simmons, probably won't have huge numbers, but he's a very good player himself. Do you worry about that, kind of hurting his chances at all?
Only reason I don't is because I think people are down on him. He's been downgraded in some people's eyes, Chris, after the playoffs last year. And I think if he goes back to his level, people will appreciate that and give him credit for doing that, fighting his way back.
All right. Rob predicting a 2008 Kobe Bryant type run there for Kevin Durant this season.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Demands a trade, gets to the finals, wins MVP. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. That's right. Moment we've all been waiting for. Your NBA champion predictions. Rob's got the Clippers and the Nets. Chris got the Warriors and the Nets. Who's winning it all, Chris? Tell me who and why.
This is a tough one because if the Nets get to the finals, I mean, that means they're balling, right? That means the chemistry's there. That means they've been well coached. It means that, they are clicking with all that talent that they're clicking on all cylinders. That said, Golden State, back-to-back champions, 5th ring for Steph Curry and the crew. I got Golden State. I think that their style of play would be difficult for the Nets to guard. And so I got Golden State over Brooklyn in an epic NBA Finals.
And I'm going with the team that Chris and I both covered as beat reporters. We both were New Jersey Nets beat writers. They're now the Brooklyn Nets. And sorry, Knicks fans, the next NBA champion from New York will be from the borough of Brooklyn, and it will be the Nets, and they will have some sort of parade in that city to celebrate the Brooklyn Nets.
There it is, the official 2022-2023 Odd Couple NBA predictions. Take it to the bank.